This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Welcome to the final regular season edition of the San Diego Prep Insider Baseball Podcast. Tommy Morris, Christian Pedersen, David Ring, standing here in
Canyonside Cages,
where
hitters are made.
And podcasts.
And
you gotta
podcasts.
Add that little asterisk at the next line.
You got to hyphen that thing. We got our top 10s. We got some Dave's Dingers, and then we're going to talk about the league races. A little bit different. No predictions today, but we got some tight league races we want to get to before the playoffs arrive, which will be next week. And next week will be all playoffs. That's all we're going to talk about. Should be exciting. We got to start with our top 10s. Mr. Ring, the floor is yours.
All right, deal. I'll start with number 10 like you do, Tommy.
Yes.
Not 10A, 10B?
Not 10A and 10B this week.
Only 10 teams on here this week?
I've only got 10 this week. And I've got a new number 10, Westview.
Ooh, getting worked.
Westview. Number 10. Number 9, Madison. Number 8, Christian. Number 7, Santana. LCC. Number 6, Torrey Pines 5. And I'm pretty sure these 4 are going to stay in my top 4 the rest of the season. Cathedral is number 4, RB3, San Marcos 2, and I've got Eastlake at number 1 going into the next week of playoffs here.
Man,
I love this. Yeah, a little bit different. I shook it up a little bit this week. At number 10, we got Sarah. Sarah's at number 10. Number 9, Scripps Ranch. Number 8, Christian. 7, Madison. 6, Cathedral Catholic. 7, La Costa Canyon. 4,
5 LCC.
5 LCC. I can't read numbers today. Number 5, teleprompter's moving a little fast today. Number 5, LCC, thank you for catching that. 4, Torrey Pines. 3, San Marcos. 2, Rancho Bernardo. And still, number 1, Eastlake. So, Dave, who hit some home runs last week?
Dave's Dingers.
Well, speaking of Eastlake, a guy that we've neglected to mention, Grant Holman, has got 10 this year. That team has hit a lot of home runs.
Yes.
I'll give you the top 5 leaders in the county. This is how it's going to look shaping in the last week. Calvin Mitchell's leading the county with 11. Like I said, Grant Holman's got 10, who's tied with Zach Hogeson at Christian. Alexander De La Cruz at High Tech High, he's got 9. Sean Ross, he's got 8. And Max Owens at UC has 7. So the title is up for grabs.
I would love to see a home run derby with those guys.
Yeah, right?
Put someone small like Claremont and let them just start blasting.
Yep.
See who wins.
We're just a little league field. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Low pitch softball, just let them commit some war crimes on some baseballs.
Petco, that'd be fun. Petco with a metal bat.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, because Petco last year for the regular one, unless your name is Giancarlo Stanton, you weren't making a dent in that stadium.
Petco in the park with a metal bat.
That's nice.
Should be fun.
Apartments.
Just smash us in office buildings. So we got some league races that are pretty tight. We're gonna mention the leagues. If the league's already wrapped up, we'll just congratulate whoever's gonna win the league.
Yeah, let's make our way north on down to south.
How about we go alphabetical?
Oh, I like that. I like that even better because that most of us know the alphabet.
And I don't know how to do maps, so we're going to start with the Avocado East. San Marcos, congrats. You guys have won that league.
I just say, called it.
You did call it.
No, but that San Marcos team, this is going to be we're glad that we saw this run starting now because they're going to be still good for a couple more years. So you really got to think that we're in the midst of seeing them start to rack up what could be one of the best 5-year spans in county history.
Avocado West now. This one is not wrapped up. LCC and Torrey Pines have a game against each other. La Costa Canyon is a game up. So, guys, are we going to see co-champions in the West, or are we going to see LCC take this thing?
I'm still going to believe that Torrey Pines is going to make this really tough on them. I mean, they're going to put their big horse on the mound and let it ride. So I have a feeling that it's going to end in a tie. Torrey's going to win.
I can believe that. I agree with you on that one. Co-champions. Torrey got LCC the first time. I don't see why they would have any reason not to beat them that second time and just throw us even more into confusion and chaos for the postseason.
Right.
All right, yeah. So I want to give a shout out to LCC, though, a team that not a lot of people had on the radar. They did a great job this year. I do agree with you. I think we're going to see co-champions.
LCC, though, and kind of with all of these where we're talking about these split titles, potentially close races, LCC's got a chance to get them back in the playoffs. Like, we're not talking about LCC and then Torrey's down here trying to ruin LCC's championship. Either one of these teams ends up in first or second, they're still going to get a chance at making some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, LCC can hit, man. Those guys are going to make it tough on any pitcher they're facing for sure. Marcus Alizard. had quite the year this year.
If you are even close to 300, you're doing good, let alone 400.
Yeah, he
Almost
hit
500.
500 this year, I think. Pretty ridiculous.
Moving into the City League, it's another one that's tied. We got Claremont and Mission Bay both tied. 2 games left for Claremont, though. They're going to play Kearney twice, so they got to win. I think both those games in order to keep that tie, or they actually take the lead. Sorry, if they win both those games. So, guys, we're going to see Claremont or Mission Bay win this thing.
I'm going to go with Claremont. I think that Mission Bay is a quality team, but I think that Claremont's a clutch team. And I think that they will get the job done against Kearney, and they'll hold on by the skin of their teeth.
I'm going to say it's not quite Mission Bay's time yet, even though they've done a great job rebuilding with Coach Dennis Pugh coming back.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Mike Pena and the Chiefs over there are going to ride out this outstanding season. A guy that's over there just absolutely mashing the ball, Jim Jarvis, one of the Jarvis brothers. They've had a bunch of Jarvis brothers last couple of years. He's hitting .464. I have a feeling he's going to have a couple of good days against Kearney and kind of close out the season for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, moving on to the Coastal League. This one's pretty much wrapped up. I think this will be brief. Parker's up 2.5 games. They've got 2 games left. They're ahead of Country Day. Country Day's got 3 games left. Basically, Parker would have to lose both their games. Country Day would have to win all 3 of theirs. So, guys, we in agreement Parker's got this thing?
Oh, man, I hate saying that because I've been a Padres fan, and I've seen us lose 10 straight down the stretch to salt away a division title. Yeah, Parker's going to hold on to this one. I could see, though, Parker resting some players, Country Day going at it to pick up some momentum, and maybe it gets within that 1-game ratio, and you end up seeing statistically that it's close. But it's Parker's thing to win.
Parker's strength is their pitching this year, and I don't see their pitching faltering in the last week. They got Joseph Satali, Ethan Rissy. These guys could put up some good numbers.
Absolutely.
I see Parker winning out.
All right, going to the Eastern League now. Point Loma has a 2-game lead over Patrick Henry, but they still have to play the Patriots 2 more times. Patrick Henry needs the sweep in order to get that co-championship. I think Point Loma wins at least one of these games, probably 2, and they'll take the championship. Guys, what do you think?
Patrick Henry's an offensive team. Those guys can really mash the ball. I say they'll take the first one, and then Point Loma will answer and win the second one.
This is a tough call. I mean, Point Loma's 9-1 in league. I look at their roster.
That's what you really got to look at for Point Loma.
Exactly.
They took a couple L's early in the season, but in league, they get the wins they need to get.
And they're playing juniors, sophomores, freshmen. They've got guys that are young, so it's kind of a hard save for me. But I have a feeling Point Loma is not going to lose 2 games, so I'm going to give the league championship to Point Loma this year.
There you go. Congratulations to Manager Boomer over there in the Pointers, because we're already claiming them winners, so obviously they're the sure one. That's definitely not a curse of any kind. Grossmont Hills League, we got Helix.
Interesting one. This, I would not have, I will admit, I would not have called this particular pair of teams at the beginning of the season. I was wrong.
Yeah, Helix and Santana are both at 8-3 right now. It's going to be tight going into this last game.
Right, so each one has a game remaining. Helix is going to play Granite Hills. Santana's got El Cap. So are we going to see a tie at the end? Are we going to see Santana or Helix go ahead and take the full championship? What do you guys think?
Dave?
I think Santana's got the easier route. Not that either one has an easier route, but I'm going to take Santana to win that last game of the year. And over Helix's,
I'm going to agree with you. Sure. I think this has part to do with strength of schedule, but also part to do with Santana just being an underdog of a team, has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they're kind of poised to do a little bit more than just sneak a league title. I think that they are able to, confidently step up and say, hey, we competed with the best of the best this year, and we deserve the respect we need, and we're going to get this league title.
Yeah, it's tough for Helix because they're playing Granite. Granite team that can play with anybody in this county. I know the record doesn't show, but they really can. So it's going to be tough road for Helix. I agree with you guys. I think Santana is going to take this league. Grossmont Valley, Valhalla is up 1 game over Steel Canyon.
I like Steel Canyon.
Both Steel Canyon. He's a superhero. Yeah. They both have 2 games left. One is against each other. So, guys, Valhalla going to hang on to this thing, or is Steel Canyon going to sneak in there, be it co-champion or outright champion?
Give me Valhalla. I think Lewis Dirks and Casey O'Sullivan are a pair of confident, competent seniors, and they know how to win a necessary game to close things out. And sure, you might have to lean on them a little bit harder than you would want to at a regular season game at the end, but I have the confidence that Valhalla can get this done. Steel
Canyon's a very well-coached team, but Valhalla has got some talent this year. I just don't see them faltering with the kind of league play they've shown this year. So I'm going to take Valhalla.
Metro Mesa League already wrapped up. Eastlake, congratulations. Anyone surprised?
I didn't know there was other teams in the Metro Mesa League.
Okay, moving on.
just let's just give the let's let it breathe for a second. East Lake, blah blah blah.
8-0 in league.
East Lake. This team though, I'm still gonna say de facto. You see them coming through one side of the bracket in open. Like they've showed a couple of little close game type losses, but this East Lake team.
Yeah, everyone knows about the big guns on that team, but like I said, there's so many unsung heroes that make that team a really solid all the way around. L.J. Jones, all the way to Sonny Rivera. You know, they've got talent all the way up and down the lineup. Grant Holman having the year.
Let's see them meet up with Cathedral again.
On the mound, at the plate. He could be Grant Holman could possibly be the MVP of all of the county this year with the season he has had.
And his pitching is so smooth.
10 home runs and 8 wins. I mean, what else more do you need to do?
Yeah, he almost got to 2 double-digit home runs and wins. That's rare.
That's
Probably he's not high enough in stolen bases in the county. He could use
or hit by pitches.
Yeah. You could use a couple more of each of those.
Maybe a triple or 2.
Just at that point, just hit it.
Okay, so we're going to the Metro South Bay now. Chula Vista up 1 game with 2 left to play over Mar Vista. Chula's going to play 2 against Castle Park. Mar Vista's got Sweetwater twice. I'm going to say Chula hangs on. This is their division. What do you guys think?
I've called Chula Vista from the beginning. They're playing outstanding baseball. Chula all the way.
I'm going to say co-champs.
Okay.
I think that you can't predict what Sweetwater's going to do. They were a finalist team last year. Didn't lose a bunch of pieces, but they've kind of just had an off season this year. But what are they going to? You know, it's a little bit easier route than playing Castle Park. I kind of see this happening into the season. Teams going a little wonky, win 1, lose 1, win 2, tied. Co-champs.
That pressure. I mean, you put some pressure on the team that's been winning all year with no pressure.
Well, and sometimes you have a team that's in like Chula Vista that's kind of locked into their playoff spot. They're going to have a home game, so they start thinking, save an arm, save some legs, you know, get a new bat in there, get some work, and I can just see things just going slightly south.
Got to get the banner, though. Got to get that banner. Got to get that league title, I think. Right. Don't rest anybody. Ocean League. We haven't talked about these guys much, but Foothills Christian with a 1.5 game lead over Orange Glen. They're going to play each other twice. Orange Glen needs a sweep to take the championship. Foothills just needs to win 1. I like Foothills Christian in this one.
Foothills first one or second one? What are they going to win?
You can put that on me, really? I'm going to say second one. Second one.
I like Foothills to win the first one and just put it out of the question right away.
Yeah, Justin Eicher going to go 4 for 4 in that first game and make this season worth it for all the seniors. Had a great year at the plate.
All right, next division we got to talk about the Pacific League. Classical Academy, Maranatha Christian, both tied at the top of the league. Maranatha's got 2 games against Escondido Charter. Classical with 2 games left against the San Diego Jewish Academy. I'm going to say both these teams sweep. We're going to have a tie.
Oh, absolutely not. Maranatha is going to win this one. Brendan Lyon at San Diego Jewish Academy is going to dispatch Classical for one of those. And so Classical will drop at least 1 to Jewish Academy. So I see Maranatha taking this one.
Maranatha's got some outstanding pitching. Zach Bridger. I have a feeling they're going to take it from Classical. They beat them earlier in the year, and I think they've got the momentum right now.
All right, moving on to the Palomar League. This one's wrapped up. Again, we all know Rancho Bernardo.
Oh, they're in that? They're in
that's Rancho Bernardo, yeah. Do you do anything you want to say about Rancho Bernardo other than the fact that they're very good at baseball?
13-1, 32 home runs.
Let's see if they can get it to a finals, though, this year. Let's see if they can get into that open division
I'll tell you what. It was not an easy task for them. Westview.
They got Merck.
Gave them an outstanding run. They had literally only lost 2 or 3 games in league this year, so it wasn't a complete runaway like it was for East Lake, who, ran away with that league.
But again, we had this same conversation about RB last year running away with league and having all this talent. They didn't make it to a finals. Let's see them translate regular season extended success into shortened postseason greatness.
They've got the horses, Jamison Hill. I mean, these guys, they pitch.
Yeah.
So
they pitch, they hit. They're a little bit better team than they were last year.
That's what I feel like.
But let's see if they're a clutch team.
Totally.
All right, Valley League. Another one's wrapped up. It's Ramona's League. Anyone to say about the Bulldogs?
Way to go, Bulldogs. If they can get a couple more wins this week, I'd love to see them lock up a home game because that is a death trap. Having to go out to a Ramona, a Valley Center, a Brawley, it can turn the tides immediately in your favor and get you a couple wins in the playoffs. So I want to see Ramona finish strong.
Yeah, Ramona's playing the hot hand right now. Since we didn't do game balls today, I want to mention a few guys on that team with a combined 79 hits between these 2 guys. Bryce Rowe and Adrian Collazo. 79 hits between two players. That's pretty amazing. So that's led them to a 10-1 in league. Pretty outstanding.
All right, moving on. This is the most confusing league by far. It's the Western Leagues. Chris Ranch is up, but they only have one game to play. They're up there, like that half a game thing, but they're ahead in the loss column, whatever, that kind of thing. They have a game against St. Augustine. There are three teams that are tied for second. It's Madison, Christian, and Cathedral. Madison play Christian, excuse me. Cathedral has 2 left versus La Jolla, and
2 left for.
Oh yeah, sorry, Madison. Yes, Madison will play Christian twice.
So Madison and Christian are going to be able. One of those two teams, or both of those, will eliminate themselves.
Exactly.
Because they're both
Can't remember already.
Yeah, all those teams are 5-3.
Cathedral has a pair against La Jolla, and Scripps Ranch is just kind of up there at the top right now.
So Scripps gets that win. They pretty much wrap it up. If they don't, it gets really confusing. I think Scripps Ranch should win the game, take the league. What do you guys think?
I think that this is a shame that this league has to happen this way, because this is battle of the bulge, friendly fire. You would think that Scripps, Madison, La Jolla, Cathedral, Christian could each win a league title if they were somewhere else in the county, but I gotta say Cathedral. I don't know. Cathedral's been a little bit more consistent. They're a little bit better overall of a team than the rest in that category. I think Madison and Christian, Kevin Abel wins one of those games. Zach Hogeson wins the other one, so they cancel each other out. I think Cathedral comes in to snake it by 1 game at the end.
Not many leagues have 4 teams in the top 10.
Yeah.
So, this is a tough one for me. I picked Cathedral to start the year. It'd be hard for me to go back on that. Scripps Ranch has played amazing ball this year. Matt Meyer.
Confusing ball, though. They've
Nolan
had some bad
Garcia.
ones. They've had some great ones.
Totally, yeah. They pitched really well. I think that's what's kept them in it this whole season. And their hitting is kind of hasn't been as good as last year, with Rudick having kind of a semi-par year compared to what he had last year. All CIF, but they've definitely. I'm going to say Cathedral, even though Scripps Ranch is right in the hot hand right now. This is a tough one.
All right, guys, before we get out of here, I want to mention something. We had this story on the last episode of San Diego Prep Insider about the Julia Garmo game. It was a game between La Jolla and Bishop's Water Polo. The La Jolla, to raise cancer money, exactly. The coach of La Jolla, his name's Tom Atwell. He's also a teacher there at La Jolla, is going to be running 100 miles on Thursday. I want to give him a big shout out. And if you want to watch him do this, he's actually going to be doing this at the La Jolla High Track. I don't know how this is physically possible, but the man also told me he's run from Santa Monica down to San Diego. I don't know.
This is just a break from baseball entirely, but we got to let you know, because this is something happening in our community, and we feel obliged to tell you. So he'll get a game ball next week.
Impressive.
So pop quiz. Here we go. Longest distance you've run consecutively. I assume it's not going to be 100 miles.
14 poles.
14 poles.
I don't know what that equates to, but back and forth on a baseball field. From
The
foul
most
to
I've
foul
run
pole,
is 1,042 feet in one day. I count feet.
Is this
I
an
use
app?
meters.
Well, no, it's because I only count the bases that I run after I hit dingers.
Oh.
This guy. All right, I can't top that.
Yeah.
My furthest distance was a couple times in high school when I was playing. I was told just run until I tell you to stop. So I don't know what distance that is. I did a bunch of run until I tell you stops. So that's
That guy, huh? Coach didn't like you that day, or what?
a little bit of a hot dog. Just a tiny bit.
It happens.
Anyway, that is our final regular season podcast.
Playoffs next week.
Playoffs
We'll be
next
back with
week.
all the brackets.
That's going to be a lot of podcasts. For baseball, we're going to have a different video for each division. Make sure to watch all of them, and make sure to send us your predictions too, because we like to play along with you guys. So we'll see you next week.